Good evening and welcome to Mega News at 6 p.m. We begin tonight with major stories, making headlines both locally and internationally. Moving on to the major headlines, stay with us.
Mahama unveils 5-year plan to cut Ghana's dependence on imported medicines. In business, BOG urges banks to turn credit into growth. And on the international front, unprecedented rain in Japan kills 8 people.
You can watch us on all our social media platforms at MBN 360. We have the details of these stories and more. My name is Nadi Degogo. Details of the stories coming up shortly. Now to our first story. President John Dramani Mahama has unveiled a 5-year strategic plan aimed at reducing Ghana's reliance on imported medicines and strengthening local pharmaceutical production.
President John Dramani Mahama says Ghana must move towards greater self-sufficiency in the production of medicines. Launching the 5-year plan, the president outlined measures to expand local pharmaceutical manufacturing and reduce the country's heavy dependence on imported drugs. The initiative is expected to support local pharmaceutical companies with the necessary financing, technology, and policy backing to increase production. Government says the strategy will also create jobs, strengthen the local pharmaceutical industry, and help reduce the impact of global supply chain disruptions on medicine availability. President Mahama stressed that building a resilient domestic pharmaceutical sector is critical to Ghana's healthcare system and long-term economic development. The 5-year plan forms part of government's broader efforts to promote local production and reduce the country's dependence on imports.
Away from the president, the Ministry of Health is stepping up efforts to reduce maternal deaths in the Ashanti region, with a renewed focus on improving emergency response, strengthening healthcare facilities, and ensuring pregnant women receive timely and quality care.
The Ministry of Health is intensifying measures to address maternal deaths in the Ashanti region. Health authorities say the renewed intervention will focus on strengthening maternal health care services, improving emergency response systems, and addressing challenges that contribute to preventable deaths during pregnancy and childbirth. The initiative is also expected to enhance the capacity of health facilities and frontline healthcare workers to manage complications and provide timely interventions. The ministry says closer monitoring, improved referral systems, and stronger coordination among health institutions will be key to achieving better maternal health outcomes. Authorities are urging pregnant women to attend antenatal care regularly and seek medical attention promptly whenever complications arise. The Ministry of Health says reducing maternal deaths remains a national priority and requires sustained commitment from healthcare providers, government, and communities.
The reason we're here today is because we have done so much, but there's so much doesn't seem to be getting us the necessary result. So something has to change, or we have to look at it from a different angle. Our maternal mortality index is actually 235 per 100,000 live births. The top 11 regions where these deaths are coming from, number 1 is Ashanti region. The deaths are here not because it's Ashanti regional problem, so don't take it personally. It is because now you're getting more referrals here. The research also shows that most of these women, by the time they get here, between 24 to 48 hours, the death has already happened.
Moving on, the Komfanoche Teaching Hospital has called on government to expedite the completion of the Sewa and Afari hospitals in the Ashanti region, saying the facilities are critical to easing pressure on the country's major referral centers and improving access to healthcare.
The Komfanoche Teaching Hospital, KATH, is urging government to speed up work on the Sewa and Afari hospitals in the Ashanti region. The call comes amid concerns over the pressure on KATH, which serves as a major referral facility for patients from the Ashanti region and beyond. KATH says completing the two projects will help decentralize healthcare delivery, improve access to specialized services, and reduce the burden on the teaching hospital. The facilities are also expected to strengthen emergency and maternal healthcare services in the region when fully operational. The hospital is therefore appealing to government to prioritize the completion of the projects and ensure they are adequately equipped and staffed to deliver quality health care. KATH says the timely completion of the facilities will be a significant step towards improving healthcare delivery and reducing congestion at major referral hospitals.
Also, former Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah have gone to the Supreme Court challenging what he describes as the selective handling of cases during the legal vacation, raising concerns about equal access to justice and the administration of the court.
Former Information Minister Kojo Oppong Nkrumah has dragged the Chief Justice to the Supreme Court over what he describes as selective justice during the legal vacation. The challenge centers on the decision to hear some cases during the period when the courts are generally on legal vacation, while other matters remain subject to the vacation restrictions. Oppong Nkrumah is questioning the basis for the distinction and whether the practice is consistent with the principles of fairness and equal treatment before the law. The development has reignited debate over the administration of justice during legal vacation and the circumstances under which cases may be heard. The case is now before the Supreme Court, where the issues raised will be considered.
In other stories, Finance Minister and Acting Defense Minister Dr. Kizol Atuforsen has officially handed over the administration of the Defense Ministry to Kenneth Gilbert Adjei, following his appointment to lead the ministry.
Dr. Kizol Atuforsen has handed over the administration of the Ministry of Defense to Kenneth Gilbert Adjei. The handover marks the beginning of Mr. Adjei's tenure at the ministry as he takes responsibility for overseeing Ghana's defense administration and related government programs. Dr. Atuforsen had been overseeing the ministry's affairs during the transition period. The new defense minister is expected to work with the ministry's leadership and the Ghana Armed Forces to advance government's priorities in national defense and security. The handover forms part of the latest changes within government as President John Dramani Mahama strengthens his administration and assigns substantive leadership to key ministries.
Also, Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto-Ablakwa has disclosed that an expert committee have been constituted to help shape President John Dramani Mahama's agenda as chairperson of the African Union.
Foreign Affairs Minister Samuel Okudzeto Ablakwa says an expert committee has been established to support President John Dramani Mahama in shaping his agenda as chairperson of the African Union. The committee is expected to provide technical expertise and strategic guidance on key issues confronting the continent. The initiative forms part of efforts to ensure Ghana's leadership role at the continental level translates into practical programs and policies that respond to Africa's development challenges. Areas expected to receive attention include economic development, regional integration, peace and security, youth empowerment, and stronger African cooperation. Minister Ablakwa says the committee's work will help provide a clear and coordinated framework for the president's AU chairmanship agenda. The development comes as Ghana seeks to use its leadership position to advance issues of strategic importance to the African continent.
Let's go for a break. Farah Ai joins with business, sports, and entertainment.
Let me introduce you to Farm Global Company Limited. At Farm Global, we offer you a variety of groceries and provisions to choose from. Cosmetics, perfumes, bed sheets, undies, boxes, you can mention all. This is our perfume stand, and we have variety of perfumes you can choose from for yourself and your loved ones. We cover Latapa, fragrance world, and quality perfumes that will last long on your body. On our cosmetic section, we have variety of lotions, creams, hair pomade that can keep you going. Let your feet do the talking and your hand do the showcasing. Your babies are not left out. We got you covered. At Farm Global, we make shopping a beautiful experience for you and your family. You can be at home, send your list, and get it delivered for free. Yes, for free. We know you can pay for it, but we want to show appreciation. We bring everything to you at your doorstep. Locate Farm Global on the Nungwabuade Road, just opposite Redeemer Chemist. Call us on 0592 0999 52 or 050 384 3633. Farm Global, fast, reliable, and convenient.
Good evening and welcome back from that break. I am Farah Ai. Now, in the world of business, the Bank of Ghana is urging commercial banks to translate improved liquidity and financial stability into increased lending to businesses and productive sectors of the economy. The call is aimed at ensuring that credit supports investment, job creation, and sustainable economic growth.
The Bank of Ghana says banks must play a more active role in driving economic recovery by making credit more accessible to businesses and other productive sectors. The central bank says the financial sector must move beyond simply maintaining liquidity and stability and channel more funds into activities that generate jobs, expand production, and support private sector growth. The call comes amid concerns over the cost and availability of credit, particularly for small and medium-sized enterprises. The Bank of Ghana is therefore encouraging financial institutions to strengthen their lending operations while maintaining sound credit risk management. The central bank believes increased productive lending will help businesses expand, boost economic activity, and translate financial sector stability into tangible growth for Ghanaians.
Also in business, trading activity on the Ghana Stock Exchange has picked up significantly, with the market recording over 4.45 million Ghana cedis as trading volume surged. The development signals renewed activity among investors and market participants.
The Ghana Stock Exchange has recorded 4.45 million Ghana cedis in turnover following a notable increase in trading volume. The rise in activity reflects stronger participation in the equities market, with investors actively buying and selling listed securities. Market watchers say increased trading activity could boost investor confidence and contribute to deeper liquidity on the Ghanaian capital market. The performance also comes as investors continue to monitor corporate results, economic development, and broader market conditions. The Ghana Stock Exchange is expected to sustain efforts to attract more investors and deepen participation in the local capital market.
We'll take a break. After that, sports news is up next.
MBN Jasu nie frami ejahima sa wupa MBN Jasu a frami 0245 88 2128 MBN Jasu kame ho na yendi eja at the right place.
Now in sports, Ghana's Black Queens have kept their hopes for qualifying for the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup after securing a crucial playoff victory over Cote d'Ivoire.
Ghana's Black Queens have boosted their chances of reaching the 2027 FIFA Women's World Cup after defeating Cote d'Ivoire in a crucial playoff encounter. The victory keeps Ghana in contention for a place at the global tournament and provides a major boost to the team's qualification campaign. The Black Queens displayed determination and resilience to overcome their West African rivals in a high-stakes contest. The result gives Ghana renewed confidence as the team continues its push for a return to the Women's World Cup. The Black Queens will now turn their attention to the next stage of the qualification process.
Also in entertainment, Ghanaian dancehall star Shatta Wale has confirmed the second edition of his Shatta Fest scheduled to take place in October as the musician looks to build on the success of the inaugural event.
Ghanaian dancehall artist Shatta Wale has announced the second edition of Shatta Fest, set to take place this October. The festival is expected to bring together music lovers and some of Ghana's leading artists for a major entertainment experience. The first edition attracted significant attention from fans and entertainment industry, establishing Shatta Fest as a platform celebrating Ghanaian music and culture. The second edition is expected to feature performances and activities designed to engage fans and showcase the country's vibrant music scene. Shatta Wale says preparations are underway as he looks to make this year's festival bigger and more memorable. Further details on the venue, lineup, and program are expected to be announced ahead of the event.
That's all for sports, business, and entertainment news with me, Farah Ayi. Up next is the international news with Nadide Gogo.
Hata wodi some look faso. Baba, me again. Nessa we yale. Me kwa dwuma mu hia me nti. Menti me sent my friend doctor for when I'm kwaso oba. Share the problem. See what we swear any. Yes, malaria. Malaria. Oh, what they say we the router. Me kope bia brem sisi. Aduro ne friend router mixer. Ye come malaria aduro. And running water. So Gap trap and the draw crew abaso body assay. Wabo Ruta mixture abaso. Ruta natural products and one Ruta mixture. Ya edukutia a treat. Ruta tonic and the Ruta life for. And who a finish the bunny, a finish pedrium. Nasa support the immune system. Ruta de Obiasia. FDA at the dredging crap to yatu.
Welcome back from that break. On the international front, at least 8 people have died in Japan after what authorities describe as unprecedented rainfall triggered following the floods of the land parts of the country.
At least 8 people have been killed following torrential rainfall in Japan, with authorities describing the downpour as unprecedented. The heavy rain has triggered flooding and landslides, disrupting transport and forcing residents in affected areas to seek safer ground. Emergency crews have been deployed to search for missing people and assist communities hit by the severe weather. Authorities have issued warnings over further flooding and landslides as more rain is expected in some areas. Residents have been urged to remain vigilant and follow evacuation instructions as emergency services continue their response. The latest disaster highlights Japan's continued vulnerability to extreme weather events during periods of intense rainfall.
Also, vote counting in Zambia's presidential election have been temporarily halted following alleged attacks on polling staffs, raising concerns over the security of the electoral process.
The counting of votes in Zambia's presidential election has been suspended following reports of alleged attacks on polling officials. The incidents have disrupted the electoral process as authorities work to address security concerns surrounding the counting of ballots. Election officials are expected to assess the situation and determine when counting can safely resume. The development comes as political parties and voters await the results of the presidential contest. Authorities have called for calm and urged all stakeholders to respect the electoral process while the situation is being resolved. The suspension has added to concerns over transparency and security as Zambia awaits the outcome of the election.
That's all for today at Mega News at 6. But before we go, let's take a recap of the major headlines.
Mahama unveils 5-year plan to cut Ghana's dependence on imported medicines. In business, BOG urges banks to turn credit into growth. And on the international front, unprecedented rain in Japan kills 8 people.
Business, sports, and entertainment was read by Farah Ai. My name is Nadia Degogo. See you same time next week. Have a good evening.